Also happening today, students throughout the state expected to return back to the classroom, including the New Haven Public School District, as they begin a hybrid learning model. Fox 61's Lisette Nunez has more on that. Lisette.
Good morning, Ashley. So students from preschool to 5th grade, they could come back to the classroom. This is part of New Haven's hybrid learning plan, but not everyone is on board with this plan. There is a boycott that is planned. That includes not only teachers, but also parents, and they're using the hashtag schools out. They're asking parents and caregivers not to allow children to sign in online or attend school in person in order to support children with severe asthma and allergies. Parents feel that those students have been left out of New Haven's reopening plan. And this morning, we actually got a chance to speak to one of those parents who is leading the boycott, and we'll hear more from her coming up in the next hour. Now, they aren't the only group also speaking out against the reopening of schools. The New Haven Federation of Teachers also sent out a letter to the mayor and superintendent asking to delay reopening until at least February 1st. They've also requested a system-wide guidance on infection control policies and procedures. And we also got a chance to speak to Mayor Justin Elliker. He says the health department and also the school district have been working closely together to ensure that students can return safely, and he feels confident that students could do that. He's actually sending out his 6-year-old daughter back to school today. She will also be participating in the hybrid learning plan. And for those folks, he says, that don't feel comfortable returning back inside the classroom, he also mentions that parents could opt to stick to remote learning for the rest of the year. We're live in New Haven. Lisette Nunez, Fox 61 News.